What's up, Earth citizens? How you guys doing? Today we're looking for a property in Coulterville. So we want to start another eco farm here in California, and we're gonna go look for some land. We were looking in Three Rivers, we're looking in Redding, all kinds of different places, but this place is on our way to Yosemite Valley, one of the big monuments of California. So we'll show you along the way, and let's go check out this property, see what you guys think. Our big vision is to have an eco farm in every state where we can teach sustainable agriculture. So this will be the second one after the first one in Cottonwood, Arizona. The elevation of Coulterville is about 2,100 feet. The population is only 900 people, so it's a very secluded community here. It's a really beautiful area. It's got a lot of black oak, some cedars, some pine, Douglas fir. We kept driving and finally made it to a dirt road. We drove in about a quarter of a mile. It would have been nice to come in a 4x4 because our car almost got stuck in the mud. Let's go walk around the property. This property is 5 acres, but only about a quarter of an acre was kind of usable and flat. There's a lot of different terrain, actually a lot of steep terrain here. The property was really peaceful, but the agent told me that this area had a lot of bear and mountain lion. This was the first property we saw in Coulterville. We can utilize the slopes. According to permaculture, it's actually good to have some slope, but this was too much steep terrain and a lot of thick brush that had to be cleared out. The other thing I did not like was the well was on the other side of the road, and we had to walk down in order to access the well, and the well had needed a generator to run. So we rejected that one and decided to look at some other properties. And here's the second one for the day. This was 10 acres of land. We had to park our car by the road and walk about a mile because as soon as we tried to drive in, our car got stuck and I had to go back and forth to get it out. So we said, let's just walk. I did like the walk. Going up to the property in this area, I like the trees. I noticed that a lot of the trees had actually burned down, so there was a fire that happened in this area a couple of years ago. But the good thing about this property, it looks like there's going to be a lot of open space for farming. So to get to the property, we had to walk through like 2 different gates, and as we walked, the elevation kind of went up to like 100 feet, and I noticed there was a lot of fog. It's got its own little microclimate up here. There's a lot of dense fog as we started walking up, so it made it hard to kind of see the property all the way around. This property did have a fence all the way around the property, but you couldn't see more than 100 feet away. I found a generator and a well. This property also had a trailer that was just parked on there. There was a lot of trash that needed to be cleaned up off the property. It would be nice to come in on a different day, on a clear day, to look at the whole property. So we're gonna move on and go look at another one that Roland said was gonna be on the way. So this is the third property that we stopped by to see. This was about 3.5 acres. This one was actually already sold. To tell you the truth, we do want some trees at our eco farm, and this one didn't have any trees, so we're gonna keep looking. Our journey for opening an eco farm in California continues. So here's another day. We're looking at more properties. Today we're looking in Somerset, California. This place is mostly north, a little bit east from Manteca. We brought Soham with us today.
I was just looking at the beautiful guideline.
Look at the farm, beautiful.
And a bunch of cows.
Yeah. The elevation of Somerset is 2,400 feet, and the population is about 3,000. So we wanted some trees on the property, and this area looks like it's got a lot. It's got the trees that I like. It's got the cedar and the Douglas fir and the ponderosa pine. 1 acre of flat land. I think it's a little bit more. It's like an easy slope on a certain place, and then the one side just kind of goes down a little bit steeper. I'm gonna go in the back and look over there, see what it looks like. The property was total 5 acres, and it was right off the main road. So this property here had about an acre in the front that was usable. It didn't have any well, didn't have any septic. It did have a fence on almost 3 sides of the property, and it had a gentle slope in the back, but it also needed a lot of clearing. There was a lot of manzanita and a lot of madrone trees that needed to be cleared out in order for us to make it usable. So we're gonna keep looking. So we're coming back from the property, brought some food from home that we just warmed up real quick, some rice and curry. So we got tired after that and wanted to go home. Soham was also tired, but we did enjoy our food. So the next property that we're gonna see requires a 4x4. All right, let's go. The property is kind of remote, and the agent told us to meet them by a general store, and then we'll drive together. This is our third trip looking for the land. This place is called Railroad Flat. It's about 2,300 feet in elevation. How far was it from you guys? So as soon as we got there, the first thing we had to do was cross that creek. And actually, the water looked a lot deeper. It looked like it was a foot deep when we were over it. The video doesn't do it justice.
This is foraging. I've used that word before. Like that, some places after a big storm when it wasn't worth trying. In areas.
Oops. The dirt road had a bunch of bumps and some slippery spots. Looks like somebody cut this log.
That didn't do the gate in the gate, the tree fell on it, did it?
No. We finally found the gate. There was a big tree that fell over. I was able to move one side. It was kind of light, but the other one was heavy. So we decided we were just gonna walk to the property, to the inside. According to permaculture, we're looking for a site with good sunlight exposure and some microclimate. We need a good source of water. We can also do some rainwater harvesting. We want to spend some time observing the land and its natural patterns before we design our farm. This property had a bunch of trash that also needed to be cleaned up. We want to focus on building the health of the soil, so we will use techniques like composting, mulching, cover crops, and minimal tillage. This property does have a well, but the pump is missing. And there was a metal shed that was used for tools, I guess, but it also needed to be cleaned up. It could make a nice house for the goats, and we will do rotational grazing on this land. There's an outdoor shower. And there was also a storage shed, which they were calling a camping shed. The structure did look good on the inside, and I guess they were using it for sleeping in there. But it works, it looks good. Some of the areas were flat, and some of the areas did have a slope, and some of them were steep. And here's some raised beds that they had going on. Overall, I did like this property. They also had a cesspool toilet system, which I wasn't excited about it too much. I guess we can put in a septic. There are some beautiful looking trees. This is the driveway that we would have drove to get to the property, but we parked our car outside because the gate wasn't functioning because the tree fell over it. So we're gonna head back. Let's take one last look. Let's do a 360 looking all around the property. On our way back, we also have to cross that creek again, which is really beautiful. So we have to keep a lot of things in mind. We also want people to come here to get an education. We also want the volunteers to be able to come here. This property is close to the Calaveras Big Trees, which is a nice tourist area. The agent told us that in the summertime, the water does go down, so it should be easy to cross for the volunteers or the people that want to come visit the farm. Thank you guys for watching and joining our journey to opening the Eco Farm in California. Which property do you think will be the best for us? Comment below and subscribe to our channel to follow our journey.
Like, share, subscribe, and go Eco Farm.